The carbon brushes on our washing machine motor need replacing, so let's get into it. Adult life is just repairing appliances and waiting for the next one to crap out. It's a pain in the ass. Right, taking the belt off and just turning the drum. It doesn't help, I've got a full load in there, and easing the belt towards the edge of the spindle. Because there's weight in there, it's especially important I don't trap my hands because it gives it a bit more room. There we go. Belt's off. Piece of cake. Right, in here I've got an earth lead to come off there, and this clip. There we go, that's off. And then these fellas here. One. Two. And the motor's going to come out, in theory. She's a bit warm because she's been on. Got an issue with the washing machine. You see me take apart appliances and washing machines before in the brute force and ignorance way. I've had to take one out gently because I need to keep all the bits on this one. Yeah, I've got an error code E08 on the washing machine, and it was making a horrific noise, and it just kept trying to turn and wouldn't turn. And the error 8 code apparently on a Hoover means that it is to do with the speed sensor on the motor. I had a little research, and it seems the most likely culprit is the brushes not feeding electricity into the motor. The brushes touch on the ring there that you can see turning. They're carbon, they feed back into here. I've taken these off and never really thought about what they are. They're spring loaded, so as they wear down, you can see I've got carbon on my hands, as they wear down on the ring, they just keep feeding out. When they get to the end of their run, there's no more to go, so I have to get new ones of these. And you know if it's these or if it's something else by when you take the motor off, take these off. If you pull them away and the ends continue to come out, you know, because they're normally, if you took a new one off, it would be sticking all the way out here. If they come out and they don't move like they haven't done here, they're all the way to the end, then you need to get the new brushes. So that's about £8 on eBay. Yeah, we've had a delivery. I just got an email just now and told me it's been stuck through the door. So let's try and prop my phone up so I can open it. Two new carbon brushes. You see they've got like a rubber band retaining, holding the carbon in. I think it's important when you order these, you get the right ones obviously, but when you look at things they'll say whether they're longer on the right side or the left, which will be how it fits onto the ring on the back of the motor, because if it turns that way, if I was to put this on one and it was positioned another way, it just wouldn't work. So yeah, so there we go. You can see, I'll take my finger out of the way, that when they're not retained, they're like that. So as I said before, when you take them off, if they don't come out anymore, if you've got a problem in the machine, you take these off and the carbon doesn't continue to come out, you've realised you've got to the end of its useful life and it's time to spend £8 on a new set. Let's get them on. Put the other brush back on because I didn't want to lose any screws or anything. I thought the easiest way to keep it together is just to put it back on. But you also need to take off this little spade connector just there. So I'm going to do that with some pliers so I don't break it with my... There we go. I'll start yanking on the wire, I don't want to break the wire. Straight around to do the other side. There we go, those are both off. Now I've just got to unscrew them and replace them one side at a time. There we go. there you can see, what they start like and what they end like, and obviously there's no more to push out to touch to make the electrical connection, so that's why we need to change them. Okay, I have sped this up for your viewing pleasure so it doesn't take quite as long. I'm just showing you there are holes there for the dowels on the brushes to fit into, and holes for the screws to go into. One of the new brushes came with a carbon brush retained by an elastic band, and the other had a plastic catch on it. The plastic catch is much easier because you can get the brush seated, get it screwed in, and then just with the pliers just snap the retaining piece of plastic off, and then it's all good to go. Whereas the one with the elastic band, you had to work with the carbon already sticking out, get it in place, and sort of like push the carbon back in to get it seated. But regardless, what I'm doing here is just getting the brushes seated and getting them screwed in. Then I'm going to put the wires on, and I'm also making, you can see me there, I'm trying to get the brushes in place, the carbon sticking out on that one. I'm also making a massive mistake, which you'll see later. Right, the cables are all back on, so now I've just got to pull the machine out and put it back on the machine. The motor's got 4 locating points. One at the front here you can see, in the background you can see one in the dark there. That's kind of a passive one, doesn't have a bolt on, so we need to slide it on all 4 at once. Right, there we go, that's back on. We've got to connect up the earth cable just there. That's on, and we've got to put the plug up back on. Where's the plug up on? There it is. That goes on there. I think that's it enough. It seems strange to be working on one of these and not just cutting it off and smashing it with a hammer. Right, now we've got to put the bolts back in. Some washing machines are trouble, especially the older ones. This has come apart and gone together. Absolute piece of cake. When I realised what I had to do, I was dreading it, but right. That's it. In theory, I've just got to put the back on and then fire it up. Sounds bad, doesn't it? Apparently that's normal. The carbon touches the ring to make the circuit, and if you've ever stripped a washing machine motor, you know that the ring is lots of pieces of carbon, has lots of pieces of copper, has lines in it. So the carbon touches that, and until the carbon is bedded in and shaped to the ring, it's going to make that noise for a wash or two. I mean, I hope that's what it is. If not, new washing machine. But apparently this is normal. Avoid my mistake. My brushes were fitted like that. They've got mouldings on the cast so they can go on in 2 different ways. So this one can be at the same angle as the other one, which is how I put it back on, which is why it was making the racket. So I had to take it all apart again. I didn't realise until watching the video back, because it was making the noise and I thought, something's not right here. Yeah, I had this one in that position. There's actually the screw holes in the divots in there for the dowels, so it can go on in different angles, I suppose, for different machines. So I put it in the wrong place. Now it's not going to make a noise. Hooray! What an idiot. Don't follow my example. I don't know what I'm talking about. No more screeching. Suspend the sentence.